Okay, welcome to Shabit Uganda e-learning. My name is Nelson Betiswamba, and we are moving on with our topic. Now looking at some of the questions that we are able to handle. We looked at expanding whole numbers using place values. Then we also looked at sample examples and how we can solve them. Then we also looked at expanding using the values, place values, exponents, which was our last video. So in this we shall also be handling now numbers that are concerned using our values and also using exponents. Also we shall be able to look at this. We are able to explain the powers in our recent video. Please be able to check out the other video before you watch this, and we explained how do we come up with an exponential number, what does it mean when you talk about an exponential number. Then in today's video we shall be able now to look at the different numbers, how they are set, how can you know that this number, how can you solve the number using values or using exponential, or using what? Using exponentials. Okay, so in today's video we shall be able to look at these numbers. Here they are telling us to expand this number using what? Using the values. Okay, here they want us to use values. Then another number they want us to, they are telling us that using powers of 10 bracket exponent, be able to expand. Okay, they have given us the same number here, so that simply means we are going to be looking at how do you expand a number using values, and how do you expand a number using exponential powers. All right, so let's get started with our number one, which is this one. Okay, they are telling us to expand using what? Using values. So here I can write my solution. I'm going to abbreviate it. I say we are having our 9, 3, we have 9, 3, 2, and 9. Okay, so this is 9,329. So here they want us to solve using what? They want us to solve using values. Okay, let me try to write it shortly. Using values. So when they tell us to use values, how do you solve this number? Because it is quite different from expanding using what? Using powers or exponentials. So for us to be able to use values, remember we talked about place values. All right, so we said if we have our number here, this is in ones. Okay, tens. Okay, this is in 100, and this is what? This is in what? In 1,000. Okay, this is in 1,000. So this simply gives us an overview that we shall now be able to use some of this. If they are telling us that we should also be able to use our place values for us to understand this more, because we want exactly to use the values of what? Use the values of this number to find it. So this simply means we shall be able now to look at if we have the values, this is in 1,000. So this simply means we shall now be looking at how many zeros represent 1,000. Okay, so we can say the zeros that represents 1,000. Then for us to expand this number using the values, we shall be getting the value of that, then I will multiply it. So this is going to be equal to our 9. Then we see how many numbers are remaining. There are 1,000. Of course, this is what? In 1,000. So we just write what? We just write 1,000. Okay, we write what? 1,000. Then we add it. Then we see our 3 here. is in a what? Is in 100. So that simply means we shall be able to write our 3, then what? 100. We said 100 represents how many zeros? 2. Then we also add, we have our 2, which is in what? Which is in 10. We said 10 is how many zeros? It is 1. So this simply means we shall write our 2 and a 0. Then we come back here and we say our 9. Our 9 is in what? Is in ones. So when our number is in 1, we just write what? That number, which is a 9. Okay. So when you do it in this way, representing their values, 9 which is in 1,000, then we say 9,000. 3 which is in 100, then we say 300, and we say our 2 which is in tens, then that is 2 tens. Then we say our 9 which is in 1, which is 9. So when we do present this number in this form, we shall have totally represented or expanded this number using its what? Its values, because a 9 is in the has a place value of 1,000. We have represented it, which is 3 zeros, and our 3 we have represented it with 100, which is 2 zeros. Our 2 in tens, which is 1 0. Our 9, which is in ones, which represents that same number. Okay. So here we shall have solved it using what? Using values. Okay, now let's look at how do we use now powers to to ensure that we do what? We solve this number. Okay. How do we use powers? How do we use powers? Okay. So now we are now going to use the same what? The same number. We are going to use the same number, which is 9, which is 9, 3, then 2. Okay, then we have our 9 here. Okay, so this is the same number. Now we are going to solve now this number. We are going to expand it. Remember, here we are still expanding, but using what? Values. Now here we are going to expand it using what? Using exponentials. If they tell you expand the number using the powers of 10 or using an exponent or exponentials, that simply means we shall be able to solve it in this way. So this is how we solve it. We said that this is, we have seen that our 9 here is in what? Is in 1,000. Then how can we write 1,000 to show that this is 1,000? We look out for the way how we can represent what? 1,000. Remember we said if we have 1,000, okay, if we have 1,000 here, we shall be able to, our 1,000 here, if you have 1,000, our 1,000 here will be equal to 10, okay, then times 10 times 10. Okay, this is the same as what? 1,000. But also when you look at this 10, we shall also, it is the same as counting the number of what? The number of 10 that are multiplied. So this simply means how many times is our 10 multiplied? It is multiplied 3 what? 3 times. Okay, 3 what? 3 times. So if we say 10 to the power 3 is the same as what? 10. So using now powers, we shall be able to now get our 9, which is here. Our 9 is in the what? Is the same as 9,000. Okay, is in the place, it has a value of our 9,000. So we shall now be able to say using exponential powers, shall be able to say our 9 times. Our 9 times, even you can come and count them here. You say 1, 2, 3. Okay, then you say times 10 to the power what? To the power 3. You can use this method. Okay, And also you can use another method of counting how many numbers are remaining. You say this is 1, this is 2, 3. Then you say 9 times 3 is the same as 9 what? 9,000. Then you also add, okay, our 3 now. How many zeros are remaining? How many numbers are remaining? You have a 1, you have a 2. So this simply means we shall be able to write our 3, and we write how many zeros. Okay, this is going to be our 3 times how many zeros? That is 10 to the power, okay, to the power 2, because there are 2 zeros. So this simply means if we multiply 3 times 10 power 2, we get 300, okay. Then we also have to come up with another one. We say we are having now our 2 here. This is our 2. Then how many zeros are there? There is only 1. So this simply means we shall multiply our 2 times 10, okay, to the power what? To the power 1. Then we add our 9, okay, which is remaining. We have our 9. But when you see here, there is no any other zero which is remaining, okay? So this simply means we shall be able to multiply our 9 times 10, okay, to the power what? To the power 0, because here we are not having any other what? Any other number. So that's why we are powering it to what? To 0. So we also say that any number which is powered to 0 is the same as what? 1. We said any number that is powered to 1 is that number, okay. So this simply means if we solve this number, we shall be able to come up with this, and also when you further solve it, we shall be able to get that same number. So here we are trying to solve it, or expanding that number using the powers of 10, or using exponentials. Alright, so to make a recap, you should be able to know if they tell you to find out the values, this is how you should write your number and stop it at this stage, okay. So also when they tell you to find out exponential powers, or expand using exponential, or using the powers of 10, then you should be able to solve it using this formula. It is very simple for you to understand. You can either use this, also you can either use this. It's just a matter of getting our 9 here, and you count how many numbers are after it. Then if there are 3, then you say times 10, because they say the powers of what? 10. Then our 3 here, how many numbers? 1, 2 times this. Our 2, how many numbers? Only 1 times 10 to power 1. Our 9, which is having no number there, then 9 times 10 to power 0. Similarly, you will have sort of that number very correct. So for this, we shall be able now to move to another topic, and in that topic we shall be able to look at what we call single numbers, okay, or expanded numbers. So for this, we shall be able to look at it in our next video. Okay, so for this I do say thank you very much for being part of this lesson, and please be able to check out on some of our playlist, and also comment for us to understand where you are, and your level that you have understood something, or your comment, or anything that you do want to ask. This is my telephone number, okay, and this is our email, that is elearning@shareability.net. Alright, thank you very much, stay blessed, nice moment.